Me, Telltale. When are we going to get Season 2 of The Wolf Among Us? Telltale. Silence is a valid option. Okay, Mondays. You've been bugging me for 3 years. Where's Season 2? Where's more Wolf Among Us? Well, it finally paid off. Congratulations. Season 2, 2018.
Where is
Telltale? Lol, Telltale is dead, you idiot.
There was a time when you were heartless, brutal, a monster.
Oh my God! Okay, it's happening! Everybody stay calm! What?
I'm here to ask you to be those things once more. For them. For me.
Procedure, everyone! What's the procedure?
Bigby, can I count on you?
Always.
Stay calm! Wait. Everybody just calm down!
Well guys, the day has finally arrived. Hello everyone, I'm Autobot Sonic the Telltale Gamer, and last night we got the news that we have been hoping for a very long time, because now the second of 3 Telltale games that were cancelled when Telltale shut down has been revived. Yes, that's right, The Wolf Among Us Season 2 is officially back on development by Telltale Games, but not just Telltale Games. So in this little video, I'm going to be discussing everything we know so far about The Wolf Among Us Season 2. This is essentially everything you need to know so far about The Wolf Among Us Season 2. Everything from the 2019 VGA trailer we just got last night to a couple of other articles that give us a little more insight into what we can expect from this new return to the world of The Wolf Among Us, and I am really excited to get back into it. Now, this is the first new Telltale game. First off, I think we should talk mostly about how exciting it is that The Wolf Among Us Season 2, after it was canceled a year ago, back when Telltale first shut down, is now back in development, but not just with Telltale. It's been confirmed that Ad Hoc Studios, which is a company composed of former Telltale and Night School Studio employees. For those who don't know, Night School Studios are a company that consists of other former Telltale employees that created the games Oxenfree and After Party. So they're going to be working with Telltale to create The Wolf Among Us Season 2, which is great because the heads of Ad Hoc Studios, Nick Herman and Pierre Charette, actually worked on the original Wolf Among Us Season 1, which is great. But yeah, so we're going to go over everything. We're going to go over the 2019 VGA trailer, everything we can dissect from that, any like comparisons to the original design for Wolf Among Us Season 2 that was promised all the way back at the 2017 San Diego Comic-Con summer event that Telltale hosted, and a couple articles that go into a little more detail about what we can expect. So first off, I think there's no better place to start than with the 2019 VGA trailer that we got last night. So I'm going to go ahead and play that all for you right now in case you haven't seen it yet.
There was a time when you were heartless, brutal, a monster. And I'm proud of you for changing all that, but I'm here to ask you to be those things once more. For them. For me. Can I count on you? Bigby, can I count on you?
Always.
So this trailer starts off once again with that very familiar Wolf Among Us theme, kind of like a remix version, but still definitely the Wolf Among Us theme, being composed by none other than Telltale famous legendary music director Jared Emerson Johnson. It starts off with a little paved down of New York City or Fabletown. Inside this rundown motel, we can see it's snowing a lot. It's winter has come to New York City, Fabletown, whatever. And as we do, we zoom out, I should say, from this window. We hear Snow White talking to Bigby, basically talking about how there was a time before the events of what I assume to be the Wolf Among Us Season 1, where that Bigby was known to be very violent and brutal, and that she's glad that Bigby has changed for the better, but she asks if she can rely on Bigby to be that brutal, savage animal that he used to be again. And while we don't necessarily see a lot visually from this trailer, it is nice to see that the same aesthetic from the Wolf Among Us Season 1, which I still think is probably the best, the most unique and best visuals of any Telltale game. Even like in regards to any art style, even more so possibly than the graphic black art style of The Walking Dead the final season. Though to be fair, actually I really did like the graphic black style of The Walking Dead the final season. But other than that, the Wolf Among Us definitely had the best graphic style of any Telltale game. And so as the camera pans out, we see what looks to be, we obviously see, of course, the man, the myth, the legend himself, Bigby Wolf, in a chair holding this big old Huff and Puff cigarette with a bottle of liquor or something. And then we see behind him Snow White. Looks like, well, we don't really see a good look at her. Well, Bigby, for the most part, seems to look the exact same way he did in Season 1. Snow White, it doesn't look like she's wearing the same dress that she usually wore back in Season 1. Looks like it's more of a blue dress, maybe to coincide with the more winter theme that seems to be going with Season 2. Now, this is something we saw back in the original logo for the Wolf Among Us Season 2 before Telltale shut down. If you remember when Telltale published the Wolf Among Us Season 2 logo on their original site before they shut down for the first time, you remember that the Wolf Among Us 2 logo was blue and had snowflakes in the background opposed to the more floral design of Season 1. And it seems that it seems to be implying still that Snow White will play a major role in the Wolf Among Us Season 2. After Snow asks Bigby if she can rely on him to be that animal again, Bigby turns to Snow White, it cuts to black, Bigby replies with a strong always, and then we get our brand new logo for the Wolf Among Us Season 2 with confirmation that Telltale will be working with Ad Hoc Studio to create this game. Now, if you take a look at the brand new Wolf Among Us 2 logo, this is the third logo that the Wolf Among Us Season 2 has gotten. It is significant. Well, it's kind of a mix actually of the original logo that was shown at the 2017 San Diego Comic-Con announcement and the updated one that they showed off, I believe, in February of last year. So while this keeps the giant 2 from the original logo for the Wolf Among Us Season 2, and this time they're calling it distinctly the Wolf Among Us 2. It's not the Wolf Among Us Season 2 like the original blue logo showed. It's now back to the Wolf Among Us 2 with a giant blue neon 2, very reminiscent of the various neon signs that inhabited the world of the Wolf Among Us, which I really enjoyed. But also, in the background of the Wolf Among Us 2 logo, we can once again see that the snowflake theme from the original Wolf Among Us 2 logo is still present, which seems to imply that this new version of the Wolf Among Us Season 2 may actually, while it may be featuring kind of a different creative team than the original concept for the Wolf Among Us Season 2, it will be featuring mostly the same narrative that the original Wolf Among Us Season 2 design that Telltale was working on before it shut down had, which is something I'm kind of glad to hear, but I'm also a bit worried about because I'll probably get more into this as we read some of the articles that go into more detail about who exactly is working on the game. But yeah, that's pretty much all we can learn from this very short, less than a minute long teaser of the Wolf Among Us Season 2. And now we're going to go into some various articles that give us a little more context into what we can expect from the Wolf Among Us Season 2, or as Telltale is calling it internally, just the Wolf Among Us 2. So, for all intents and purposes, I'm still going to call it the Wolf Among Us Season 2, but if Telltale decides to keep calling it the Wolf Among Us 2, then I'll start calling it the Wolf Among Us 2, similar to how I call Life is Strange 2, just Life is Strange 2 and not Life is Strange Season 2. But anyway, on Telltale's official website now, if you go onto there, you can see that that site has now been updated to show, in fact, the featured games are Batman: A Telltale Series Season 1, Batman: The Enemy Within, and The Wolf Among Us Season 2. So if you click on The Wolf Among Us Season 2, you get to a site that was kind of very similar to what the original Wolf Among Us Season 2 teaser page was. And with that, we have a little blurb that gives a brief description as to what we can expect from The Wolf Among Us Season 2. The tagline reads, "Life in the big bad city is bloody, terrifying, and dangerous. Bigby and Snow are returning to untangle more mysteries in the much-anticipated sequel to one of Telltale's most beloved games, The Wolf Among Us. Award-winning voice actors Adam Harrington and Aaron Yvette are back to breathe life into the main characters, Bigby and Snow. The lead writer, creative/game directors, and composer of the original game are back for another trip into the dark universe of Vertigo's Fable's graphic novels in The Wolf Among Us 2. So, yeah, that pretty much basically confirms that Bigby and Snow will be the main characters of The Wolf Among Us 2, just like we described. Look at me, I'm already going with The Wolf Among Us. It's calling The Wolf Among Us 2 now instead of Season 2. You know what? Fuck it. I'm just going to call it The Wolf Among Us 2 from now on. But anyway, yeah, that's from Telltale's official website. And I'll link to this page as well as all other articles I mentioned in this video in the description below, so if you want to check them out for yourself. So next things first, we're gonna go to a Forbes article, in which a writer, Heather Newman, just talks to the new Telltale CEO, Jamie Ottley, about basically interviewing him as to what we can expect from The Wolf Among Us Season 2. Now, before we go into diving into her actual interview with Jamie Ottley, she does point out a couple of tidbits that she basically learned from her interview with Ottley that aren't mentioned directly in the later questions that I think I should mention here. So first off, starting off, she confirms that The Wolf Among Us 2 will be an exclusive on PC for the Epic Game Store. Now, other websites I've been to have said that it will be released on consoles as well, but it's unknown what consoles exactly. It's not sure if they'll be released on the Xbox One and PS4 or the newly announced Xbox Series X and the PS5, but we know for sure that The Wolf Among Us 2 will be released on the PC exclusively through the Epic Game Store. And to celebrate that, The Wolf Among Us Season 1 is actually available now on the Epic Game Store for absolutely free for the entire week. So if you have, for whatever reason, not played The Wolf Among Us Season 1 yet, go ahead and download on the Epic Game Store right now. You are missing out on an amazing experience. Anyways, after that, she goes on to explain how, like we said, Telltale is working with Ad Hoc Studios on this game, and employees from Ad Hoc that used to work on Telltale include directors Nick Herman and Dennis Leonard, who were the directors of The Wolf Among Us Season 1, Pierre Charette, who was the writer of Season 1 alongside various others, Adam Harrington and Aaron Yvette, who are the voices of Bigby and Snow White respectively, and composer Jared Emerson Johnson. Along with that, we also learned that The Wolf Among Us Season 2 will have 5 episodes, and while it's still a prequel to the Fables comic, it will take place after the events of Season 1. Now, this is actually really interesting considering that Telltale straight up said that The Wolf Among Us Season 2 will be 5 episodes long, when according to some leaks that came out shortly after Telltale shut down back in September of last year, it seemed to be that The Wolf Among Us 2 was actually going to be only 3 episodes long. So maybe they're either going to add some new stuff to stretch out the narrative to 5 full episodes, or they're actually just redoing the entire story and maybe just picking out similar themes from the first version, for the first draft of Season 2, and incorporating that into this new draft. After that, we're going to go on into the actual interview questions that Heather Newman asks Ottley. So the first question Heather Newman asks Ottley is, why was The Wolf Among Us 2 the first title you chose to greenlight? And Ottley responds, The Wolf Among Us is one of the most beloved titles in the catalog and the one most often requested by the community, which I can't argue with that. It definitely is the most requested sequel or any game that has ever been requested by Telltale. The sequel has been announced already, and we did not want to disappoint our fans. Yes, obviously, because there were a lot of people disappointed after that when The Wolf Among Us 2 was canceled after Telltale shut down, so it makes sense that the new Telltale, that would be the first game they do out of the bat. So then, Newman asks, how did you choose who you'd reach out to return to work on this project? Ottley responds, we felt it was important to bring back the creative leadership on the title. The first priority was really on the writers and cinematic directors for the game, as we wanted this to be a true sequel, built by the same visionaries as the original, and it's likely that we will add other key contributors as we ramp up the team. We will be opening positions in both Malibu and Corte Madera next year. Now, this kind of worries me, actually, as someone who really wants to enjoy The Wolf Among Us 2, I still can't help but feel like there are some key developers that worked on the original draft of The Wolf Among Us 2 before Telltale shut down that aren't included in this. And while it's great that like Nick Herman, Pierre Charette, and all of them are coming back, some other people I know for a fact, like Nicole Martinez, who was a big part of the original Wolf Among Us 2 draft, that she was featured in the original San Diego Comic-Con update video. She has not been confirmed yet to be returning to this, but hopefully well, as much as like I'm not gonna lie, if they do decide not to reach out to the rest of the team who worked on The Wolf Among Us 2 and just leave it with that, not gonna lie, it's gonna be kind of scummy on the new Telltale's part. But if they go ahead and do reach out to as many people as they can from the original Wolf Among Us 2 team and get them back on board for this new draft, then I'm all out for it. So hopefully Telltale does the right thing and work does that, just like they did with hiring former Telltale employees when they first reopened back in August. After that, Newman asks, will this game feel the same as the first, or are you making changes? Now this response from Ali is really important, so pay attention. We felt it important that the first game from the new Telltale be presented in a style similar to the original games. This game will look and feel like a Telltale game. There will be incremental changes and improvements that come with the new technology platform, and we have some interesting gameplay elements in mind. Now, this is kind of alarming for me, in my opinion. Now, I'm glad that it's going to feel like a Telltale game, but at the same time, that's also kind of what led to Telltale's fall in the first place, that it took them way too long to innovate. So if they're going back to the original point-and-click design of the original Wolf Among Us, where you just had the fixed camera angles, I really hope that Telltale thinks that they're going to be incorporating a lot of new things to make up for that similar feel. Because if they don't, people are just going to complain, just like they did with Guardians of the Galaxy, Minecraft Story Mode, Batman, and The New Frontier. In fact, that every Telltale game feels similar. So, while I get that you want it to feel like a Telltale game, there are still things you can do to change up the Telltale formula, like The Walking Dead: The Final Season was a great example of that, and even the canceled Stranger Things Telltale series, and looked like that game, part of it was going to be in first person. And so, I really hope that with this new draft of The Wolf Among Us 2, that we still get a lot more innovation like we did with The Walking Dead: The Final Season. Also, as far as what's the new technology platform, while this article doesn't confirm it, another article does state that The Wolf Among Us 2 will actually be running on the Unreal Engine instead of the Telltale tool that was worked on with every other Telltale game. So this will be the very first Telltale game not on the Telltale tool, which is gonna be kind of weird to see another another engine work, another Telltale game on a different engine. Now, I know there was talks that after The Walking Dead Final Season was wrapped up, the original Telltale was going to make The Wolf Among Us 2 and Stranger Things on Unity, which is the same engine that was used to create Life is Strange Season 1 and Life is Strange Before the Storm, but now instead they're working on Unreal Engine, which is the same engine they used for Life is Strange 2. So, that point, I'm kind of happy that they're improving on the engine, but at the same point, if they're just going to recreate the original feel of a Telltale game in the Unreal Engine, not innovate so much, then they kind of have a problem there, not gonna lie. But anyway, moving on to the next question, Newman asks, there is no release date yet for The Wolf Among Us 2, but more broadly, are you thinking this is a 2020 game? Audley responds, we aren't announcing a release date just yet, but I can say it will not be released in 2020. Now, obviously, I have no problems with this. They literally just announced this towards the very end of December. So, at the very latest, I'm expecting Season 2 to come out probably sometime around, spring to summer 2021. And I'm perfectly fine waiting, a year and a half for this game to come out. Anyway, continuing from what Audley said, we have rebooted development of Season 2 and intend to give it the time and care it deserves to bring the vision to fruition. So yes, just like as I said earlier, pretty much the new Telltale is restarting The Wolf Among Us 2 from the ground up. Now, while some stuff from the original version that the original Telltale was working on may be carried over, they're pretty much making The Wolf Among Us 2 from scratch. So it makes sense that they just have this kind of proof of concept video that just says, hey, guess what? Wolf Among Us isn't dead. We're gonna finish it. So that's pretty much it from that. Then for the last couple of questions, Newman asks her third last question is, how many titles would you like Telltale to have in development at a single time? Audley responds, "Right now, we are focused on getting one new title in development and onto the right track. Ultimately, we will need to expand the pipeline to support more than one game at a time. This needs to be done conservatively and over time, and will require staggering the schedules properly. The scarcest thing in game development are the creative and technical leaderships needed to bring games to life, and we will only scale as we find the right people for these key roles. All of that is down the road a bit though. The focus right now is only on one thing, The Wolf Among Us Season 2. This is a huge relief because that's pretty much why Telltale shut down. They bought like IP after IP. Like, you can't expect to go buying stuff like Game of Thrones, Minecraft, Guardians of the Galaxy, Batman, and Stranger Things, and just pump out the same game over and over again, just expecting to keep making a profit. That's not how business works, and is the reason, or part of the reason, why Telltale shut down in the first place. So, seeing that the new Telltale is learning from that, and that they're only working on The Wolf Among Us 2 right now, but they understand that, hey, listen, that we're only working on The Wolf Among Us 2 now, but we realize that if we want to keep up in the game development market, we're going to have to make more games at once over time, but that's a long ways from now, and we're going to be expanding our crew at a gradual rate. We're not going to, like, blow up after, like, one game like they did with The Walking Dead Season 1, and I'm really glad for that. After that, Newman's second last question is, what factors will you consider to decide what comes next after this title? Audley responds, I think it's likely that our next title will be a new IP, one that wasn't done previously by Telltale. Beyond that, it will come down to the right IP, the right concept, and the right visionaries to drive the titles. Now, what could this mean? Now, reading this first, I thought it meant that they were working on this IP before, that this IP was going to come out before The Wolf Among Us 2, but no. So The Wolf Among Us 2 will be the first new game that Telltale comes out with, the new Telltale comes out with, and they'll be working on a brand new IP after that, whether this be a brand new world that Telltale creates for its, like, with its own characters and all that, or whether they take something that they never worked on before, like a brand new IP, like, let's say, just pulling something out, they make like a Transformers Telltale series, something like that. That's something that could be considered a new IP, and I'd be all for that. Finally, Newman closes the interview with any final comments, and Audley responds, it's great to finally be able to talk about what we are actually doing. This is the path we have been on since May, and it has been so hard not to share what we are up to or comment on all the requests and speculation. We're here to make great stories and have everyone be part of them in the classic Telltale style. And so there you have it. That is pretty much everything we know so far about The Wolf Among Us 2. Currently, the game has no scheduled release, but according to the interview, we should not expect it to come out next year in 2020. So my guess is, I think we can expect The Wolf Among Us 2 to be released sometime in either spring to late summer, early fall 2021. Also, the game will be 5 episodes long, but we're not sure if, as according to the statement the new Telltale made back when they first came back about whether or not the games will be released episodically. I mean, they will be released episodically in episodes, but who knows, maybe if they'll release all 5 episodes at once, or they'll do them like maybe once a week instead, or something like that, like they did in like other things do. I don't know, but considering that the new Telltale's been working on The Wolf Among Us 2 since May, I think we may get another trailer or some kind of teaser next year. No, we're not gonna get like the game next year, but we may get another trailer or something, maybe at E3 next year. Who knows? But I think we're not just gonna like be dead silent until 2021 for The Wolf Among Us 2. So yeah, that's pretty much everything we know so far about The Wolf Among Us 2. Are you guys excited that once again we are ready to go back to Fabletown and continue the story of Bigby and Snow White? If you're excited as I am for The Wolf Among Us 2, sorry, fuck, I got too excited there. If you're excited for The Wolf Among Us 2 as much as I am, be sure to like, comment, and of course subscribe, and I'll see you guys later.